Part 1. A simple kitchen with a big dream. In the heart of a sleepy little town in Vermont, where the mornings smelled like pine trees and fresh rain, stood a modest little bakery called Sana's Home Kitchen. It wasn't glamorous. No neon signs. No giant advertisements. Just a simple wooden board, a warm yellow glow inside, and a young woman whose dreams were bigger than the sky. Sana, a 24-year-old with soft brown eyes and a stubborn smile, ran the bakery with all the love in her heart. After her mother's passing 2 years ago, Sana had taken over everything. The recipes, the bills, the endless early mornings, and late nights. Money was always tight. Some months she barely scraped through the rent. But she never let go of her dream, to cook with love, to serve with kindness, and to touch hearts through her food. Locals adored her, not just for her buttery croissants or warm cinnamon rolls, but for the way she made them feel like they were stepping into a home, not a shop. Across the town, in a world far glossier, busier, and louder, lived Liam Carter. At 28, Liam had already built a business empire in real estate. Luxury condos in New York, sprawling resorts in Miami, investments stretching from LA to London. He had it all, the wealth, the power, the prestige. Yet every night, under the $1,000 Egyptian cotton sheets, Liam felt one thing gnaw at his soul: loneliness. He had tasted everything money could offer. Yet someone, was missing. Fate, however, was cooking something special for both of them. Part 2. When roads break and hearts find their way. It was supposed to be a routine day. Liam was in Vermont to check out a potential resort site. A last-minute trip, one he wasn't excited about. After all, what could a small town offer to a man who had walked through the streets of Paris and skied the slopes of Switzerland? But fate loves small towns. And it loves to break expensive cars. A sharp nail on a hidden country road shredded the tire of Liam's black Range Rover. Stranded and cursing under his breath, Liam looked around for help. The town was quiet. A chilly breeze tugged at his expensive coat. And then, a tiny curl of smoke rising in the distance, the smell of fresh bread riding the wind. He followed it like a starving man. Down a narrow cobbled street, past a bookstore and a florist, stood a little bakery with soft golden lights inside. Sana's Home Kitchen. The bell above the door jingled as Liam entered. The smell was intoxicating. Butter, sugar, vanilla, and something else. Something he couldn't name but felt deep in his chest. Behind the counter, wiping her hands on an apron, was Sana. She looked up. For a moment, their eyes locked, hers, filled with warmth and curiosity. His, hidden behind layers of exhaustion and arrogance. "Hi there," Sana said, her voice a soft melody. "You look like you could use some comfort food." Liam cracked a tired smile. "Something like that." "Sit anywhere," she said, pointing to a wooden table near the window. "I'll bring you something special." Without waiting for a menu, she disappeared into the kitchen. Liam, unused to being ignored, found himself oddly intrigued. When Sana returned, she placed in front of him a plate of homemade chicken pot pie, steaming and golden, and a small tart filled with spiced apples and a hint of cinnamon. "Try this," she said simply. Liam picked up the fork, half expecting mediocrity. But as the first bite melted in his mouth, his world shifted. It wasn't just food. It was a memory he didn't know he had. It was the smell of rain on a summer day, the sound of a mother's laughter, the hug of a forgotten childhood. He took another bite. And another. Sana watched him quietly, hiding a small smile. When he finished, Liam looked up. The cold armor he always wore cracked just a little. "Who are you?" he asked. Sana laughed softly. "Just someone who likes to cook." But that was a lie. She wasn't just someone. And Liam Carter, millionaire, king of concrete jungles, didn't know it yet, but he was already falling, one forkful at a time. Part 3. Return to the warmth. The next morning, Liam found himself standing outside Sana's home kitchen again. It wasn't logical. He had meetings scheduled, deals to finalize, contracts waiting. But his heart, the very part of him he had ignored for years, pulled him back to that small, warm bakery. As he entered, the little bell above the door sang again. Sana looked up from the counter, surprised, then smiled warmly. "You again?" she teased. Liam chuckled, a real, genuine chuckle he hadn't felt in months. "I couldn't stop thinking about the food," he said honestly, slipping into the same seat by the window. Sana shook her head, amused, and brought him a fresh batch of buttermilk pancakes, glazed lightly with honey and lemon zest. This became a rhythm. Every morning before his meetings, Liam would stop by Sana's bakery. Every evening, if he was free, he would swing by again, sometimes pretending it was just for coffee, but both of them knowing it was for something much more. Sana would laugh at his bad jokes. Liam would ask her about her recipes, about the town, about her dreams. Slowly, the sterile businessman turned into a boy again. Curious, light-hearted, breathing. And Sana? She felt alive too. Though she tried to hide it. Every time Liam smiled, her heart skipped just a little faster. Part 4. Stories over coffee. One rainy afternoon. The cafe was almost empty. Only a few old men played chess in a corner. Liam sat by the window, watching raindrops race each other down the glass. Sana brought him a steaming mug of cocoa, topped with a cloud of whipped cream. "You always bring magic with your food," he said, sipping it gratefully. She laughed. "It's just cocoa." "No," Liam said, shaking his head. "It's the way you make it. It feels safe." Sana sat across from him, her apron dusted with flour. For a long moment, they said nothing, just the sound of rain and breathing. Finally, Sana spoke, her voice softer than the rain. "I grew up poor," she said. "Mom and we had nothing. Some nights, no food, no heat. But she taught me that even a little bread, made with love, can taste like a feast." Liam listened intently, his chest tightening. "After she passed away, this bakery, it's all I have left of her," Sana whispered. "It's not much, but it's mine." Liam wanted to reach across the table, to hold her hand. But he didn't. Not yet. Instead, he said quietly, "It's not just a bakery, Sana. It's a home. For anyone who's lucky enough to walk in." Sana blinked rapidly, hiding the tears forming in her eyes. Outside, the rain fell harder, but inside, a seed of something beautiful, trust, maybe even love, had already been planted. Part 5. Realizing the heart's hunger. Days turned into weeks. Liam's business in Vermont had long been finished. He could have left anytime. But he stayed. The excuse he gave himself was thin. There's more to finalize. The truth? Her. Always her. One evening, after the bakery had closed, Liam found himself helping Sana wipe down tables. She wore a simple blue sweater, her hair tied in a messy bun, flour still clinging to her cheeks. She looked at him, laughing at some silly story he had told about a disastrous business dinner in Paris. And just like that, Liam knew. He wasn't hungry for food. He wasn't chasing deals or fame. He was chasing her. He was falling for her, had already fallen, somewhere between the first bite of chicken pot pie and the first smile she gave him. But fear tangled with hope inside him. Would someone like Sana ever accept someone like him? A man whose world had been built on speed, greed, and loneliness? He didn't know. But he knew he had to try. As he locked up the door that night, the street lamp's light falling golden over her laughing face, Liam made a silent vow. He would win her heart. Not with money. Not with promises. But with the same magic she poured into every dish. Love, patience, and faith. And maybe, just maybe, Sana's kitchen wasn't the only thing he would call home someday.